Marky Worthington Podcast all day.
All day.
Dream by night.
Don't buy me a drink. Just give me $10.
Oh, dude, you look sweet. Yeah, you got a big beard, dude.
Go down to the strip club with your floppy disk and turn it into a hard drive.
Yeah, right. Thrown out by Big Tony.
We're here to name names and make people feel more ashamed for shit that they're not proud of.
Me and my best friend, Marky Worthington.
No, whatever it is.
Hello and welcome to the Marky Worthington Comedy Podcast. This is episode 127. It's a callback episode that I recorded with Fahey back at the end of March 2020. So it was just after the lockdowns started, and it was the first isolation episode. There's a few firsts in this one. It's the first isolation episode. It's the first phone episode. It's one of the first episodes where I didn't actually record video. So if you're watching this on YouTube, it's going to be mostly audio only. I might have a clip at the end for YouTube, but aside from that, it's all over the phone. First time we ever did what would you rather questions, which became like a big part of the show in this era. And also it was the first time that I announced the logo that I still use to this day. So all a bunch of firsts, and a good episode. So I think that listening back to this, we have a lot less of the what would you rather questions these days on the show. If you want me to bring that back, please let me know, because it's actually a really fun segment on the show, and it's always brings out interesting answers, especially when we've got people that can think quick on their feet. So let's get into the episode. Cheers.
Callback episode.
A good callback.
Got a special guest here, Fahey via phone.
How you going, man?
Yeah, good, man. It's good to have you on the show.
It's funny you call me Kai Phone, because when I saved your number into my phone just now to set up, it actually saved you as Marky Worthington talking. Well, that's pretty apt.
It's to the point now where it just adds adjectives, as it were. It says fit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or is that a verb, dude? I don't know. I didn't pay attention.
Dude, I've actually been thinking about like googling that kind of stuff, because like what are actually verbs and adjectives and all that? Because I don't know what half that stuff is anymore. I'm done with my kid.
That's right. Yeah, dude, I had trouble with that, man. I managed to get by just pretty much sitting next to the smart guy in class and then getting him to help me out whenever I didn't know what was going on.
Hey, you're smarter than me. I managed to get by just not being there. I'm just not going to be here.
Look, getting by is a loose way to describe that as a method. Oh, man.
Well, I've still got a job, so I can't have done too badly in these troubled times,
Yeah, dude, so you're still working at the moment?
Yeah, essential service.
Yep. Yeah.
One of us would probably die. Like, they wouldn't even stop one of us would have to die. Like, even then, they wouldn't stop it. Like, okay, well, there's someone else. Quick, chuck you in the back, drop him at the tip, and let's keep going. Like that.
Yeah, it's as long as the others are there to clean it up, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, pretty much. As long as the trucks keep moving, everyone's getting overtime today.
I feel like that's a fairly solitary job anyway, isn't it? Do you usually have people with you?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Like, so for your listeners who are just learning who I am, Canberra's, bad boy of comedy and all-round truck driver, garbage truck driver. So, yeah, it is a pretty solitary job.
Yeah.
But now they've made it even more solitary. So before we used to have, meetings every Tuesday just to, toolboxes. And we always sort of clock on at the same time. Now they've staggered our starts. So, we have zero interaction with each other. Like, we're all showing up 5 minutes apart. We're not allowed to go in the office to actually physically clock on like we used to. They just take it for granted that we'd be there at our assigned time.
Yeah, right.
And then so we're not allowed to talk on the phone, obviously, but we're not allowed to physically interact. I'm sure they'd stop us from going to the toilet if they were legally allowed to. But
yeah. Everyone brings their own seat, and you have to swap it out.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah,
just be like the you like how race car drivers have their own like linings for the seats. And they
Yeah. Pretty much, it's like that. Yeah.
I just can't go if I haven't got my lucky seat.
Well, I got the Madonna clause in my working contract, so whenever I use a toilet, I've got to take it away and burn it. That's how like, seriously though, like how full of yourself do you have to be like you're not allowed, like no one else is allowed to sit on the same toilet seat that I've ever sat on or whatever, like
yeah.
That's insane. That's an insane rider to have. Like.
Oh man, like so I knew a guy who did some renovations at the Canberra Theatre, and he had to replace the whole bathroom, and he's like looking at the toilet seat, and he's like, wow, some pretty famous asses are probably sat on that.
No, it's like, as long as you don't lick it.
You ever been to someone else's place and they just had like a wooden seat, and you're like, well, that's good for now until it gets a split down the front of it.
I've never liked wooden toilets because
it just feels weird. Like
it feels weird, and then
morally, not
faces.
physically.
You can see faces in wood. Like I can always see faces in wood games.
Yeah,
but
like,
I don't like.
Like,
I don't like it. It's like the toilet staring at me, man. Like I don't know.
Yeah, it's like the what was it? Is it King Kong where they've got all the eyes like painted on their face? Oh no, that was Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Just like
like that.
People in the wilderness put the masks on the back of their head so that the tigers think that they're looking at them and they don't attack them.
Creep up on them.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
It's a defense mechanism so the toilets don't get people. They think that someone's looking at them.
Oh, it's just they just like got a weird kink and everyone sit on their face.
Yeah, it's all fun and games until you see eyes looking back.
And it's 3 minutes in and I've already made a sexual reference. We're doing well.
Yeah, well, I'm surprised it took that long. For those of you keeping track at home, I bet you just looked at the clock to see if it was actually 3 minutes in. Like, just already trying to second guess us. And by people watching at home, I mean Kai in his truck on Tuesday morning.
Pretty much.
Back to the podcast we record.
Yeah, just going, oh my God. I hate this. Actually, like, I'm one of those weird, like, I hate listening back to myself, but I can't not do it too. Like, and then I just sit there just going, oh my gosh.
Yeah, well, it happens in comedy. You kind of need to, unless you write all your jokes out longhand and you definitely perform them the same way, you kind of do need to listen to yourself back to get the delivery right, I guess. Yeah,
yeah, definitely. I do that. Like, yeah, how did that joke go again? I'll just listen to it, like. YouTube for me, I don't put up YouTube videos for other people. I just put them up so I've got something to reference at a later date. You know?
Yeah. You start every one with a timestamp so that. See, that's why it's just a shame you can't name names with jokes, because then you'd be able to back check and go like, oh, I was dating that chick at that time and put it in a timeline. Like if you say the name, you might not know what year it was, but you knew that she was before that other chick.
Yeah.
And she was at my 28th birthday, so that makes sense that I must have been anywhere from 26 to 27.
That was Rebecca, that's right.
Yeah.
So what are you doing for how actually is
COVID I happen to be
like me?
Yeah, I happen to be lucky enough to be working in one of the retail outlets that's still open. So I'm
nice.
I'm doing that at the moment. We
just essential service hairdressers.
Yeah, that's right, exactly. Yeah, so shout out to my barber just listening to this.
I was just about to say you'd probably be pretty happy that that's considered essential service, because you've got that wicked beard that needs regular maintenance.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. Like, a lot of people would just assume that having a beard means you don't do anything. Turns out that you do twice as much.
Do they wash and shampoo your beard?
Not at the barber, but he just does like a trim, and then I look after the rest myself.
Did he get angry at you though when you like come see him with an unwashed beard? It's like, I cannot work with this. You bring me clean beard next time. I don't know why he's got a bad accent.
Yeah. He was impersonating you, impersonating him.
Yes.
He was impersonating a barber.
I had a mad time actually. I went to a barber just recently. My girlfriend does most of my haircuts, and I do most of my beard. You know, because I've got obviously a closely cropped beard, so I do most of that at home. But the other day I was just feeling like spoiling myself. I actually had to go to a pretty formal event, so I went and got the barber to do that, and it was really weird. For the first time ever, I got the hot towel treatment. Like I've been shaved at barbers before, but it's like fully wrap my head up and just like, you know, wrapped it in such a way like just my nose was sticking out so I could breathe. Yeah, it's quite a weird sort of a weird kind of thing. It was a pretty cool barber. There's lots of swearing going on, and
What, he cut himself?
Oh no, they were swearing. I've just never been like these. Like I guess they were trying to be like hip, cool, barbers those days. So it was like, fuck this and fuck that.
It's like when you work out that people don't get mad when you swear anymore. So you just do
pretty
it
much. It's like dude, it was crazy. It was like watching a comic where like it was trying to get the shock value swearing. You know,
you're waiting for You're waiting for like the cameraman to come out after he's been filming like a sket in the barber shop. Yeah. No. So yeah. Anyway. Speaking of. There we go. Speaking of trimming beards. Sponsor me, Manscaped. Just like I know you sponsor every other fucking podcast, so just hit me up. I know you're scrolling through the up and comers. I already said your brand. In 12 years' time, when you hit me up for a deal, just know that I've been doing this for a while. Yeah,
and you know, Dollar Shave Club. I'm a big fan of your shave butter. I always use that in the shower. So you know, makes my balls tingle, which is a little weird, but you know, it's.
Dude, I had some. I had some shampoo that I bought from Lush. Like I go right on. With
don't go nuts.
Yeah, like all up. Like I actually get sponsored by a beard oil company called Mad Viking, and they send me stuff through them. But then every now and then I'll get something from somewhere else for you know, soap and stuff. So I'm like, well, I'm already getting everything else through Mad Viking, so I may as well go to somewhere else that has like better stuff, like not just Woolies for the $2 bar of soap, you know. So I was go there, and they had this like shampoo that's got like it's like wasabi and caffeine shampoo.
Wow.
And it smelled really good. So I was like, I'll use that. But the last place I stayed at, I left my shower gel there. So I go to the new place, and when I was going on a trip somewhere, and I'm like, she'll be right. I'll just use the shampoo as body wash just for one night. Yep, lather up, get it all over, and then I'm like, I just put wasabi fucking shampoo all over my balls.
Oh god! So not only are your balls flame red, they're also on fire. That's
They're also caffeinated. Like it's just the hat trick, right? So I'm I was just like, what the fuck? So that was pretty quickly short-lived after that.
Yeah, that's nuts, man.
I was fair. That was nuts. I'm like,
that reminds me of the time I put deep heat on my dick for a bet. Yeah, never do that again. Right, you know the weirdest thing about having like rubbing deep heat on your knob, besides winning $50, was it actually makes your feet hot. Like,
oh,
that
really?
was like the weirdest part. It was like, darn, you know, my genitals were on fire too. I was like standing, like, oh my god, my feet. Felt like I was like walking on hot coals, man. I was like,
It's So you're like, oh well, this is terrible, but my feet have never been warmer.
Yeah, my feet never mind. Next time I'm freezing in the snow, I'm gonna rub the heat in my balls
Did you just
to keep my feet
discover?
warm.
Did you just discover like a like one of those like alternative medicine like meridians or something in your body, like your knobs connected to your feet somehow?
Yeah, the knobs.
I don't remember that from the like
What chakra would that be? Yeah.
yeah, like the elbows connected to the shoulder, my knobs connected to my foot.
But I want the money. That's the main thing.
Yeah, that's it. Well, I feel like
And
either way you lost.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd ever do it again. Not for 50. Maybe for $100.
Maybe for 100. That's inflation alone. Like
50 wasn't worth it.
I feel like you've nearly got your money worth out of the story over the actual money. Have you ever done that? Have you ever just been in a shit situation and gone like, well, at least I might have got 5 minutes out of this?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I think that's the greatest curse of all comedians, actually, is that, and I've heard other comedians talk about it too, is that eventually, like, you'll be like in the middle of a horrendous breakup or something, and you can't actually connect to like having your heart ripped out because you're like, oh, I'm going to get so much material out of this, like, and then so. And then, of course, the person you're arguing with, they're like, the person who's breaking up with you, they're like, why aren't you upset? And then they get even angrier. But you're just thinking, wow, this is so much material here right now. Like,
Yeah. you
Sorry?
hear.
Sorry, the missus yelling at me. It's like, you're a weirdo. Yeah. But now I'm getting material out of that.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks for the material.
It's okay.
Oh, man.
She just tried to dump me. So,
Oh, man. Well,
that's a good 2 minutes right there.
yeah, there we go. That's and look, there you go. And your missus was part of something.
Finally, she's contributing to my life.
Oh, to
I meant to say that quieter.
oh man. Yeah, I'm looking at the audio levels, and looks like you intentionally said that louder for some reason. I'm gonna have to fade that in post, so it doesn't sound like you're doing it on purpose. Oh man. What was I gonna say before? There was a moment there where you're talking about like getting time out, like getting time out of a breakup, getting stage time out of a breakup, and it's kind of like when you hear sports stars say that, like, oh, I hit my best batting average on like a game, or I scored the most tries. It was an out of body experience.
Yeah.
Well, like for comedians, a breakups is the out of body experience. It's like you're standing back watching yourself go through it, and all you can think about is how that's going to go on stage.
Yeah. What can I? You do. You step back and yeah, and you become really acute of like every word, acutely aware of every word, because like you try and find that golden word that's going to give you the best punchline for your story. Like, and then they said this, and they're like, and then that's the bit you cack onto, like,
Oh man, you say the exact thing that you want to say, so that when you quote it, you're not lying. Like, you don't want to tell them what you actually said. You got to have the perfect argument the first time round.
And you're just making it like 5 times worse for yourself. He's like, oh, this is going to go so good tonight. Like,
oh man, yeah. So like I said, I'm still in work, and you've got the you've got your job at the moment. So we're both still doing okay. But it's pretty crazy, how everything's sort of getting shut down at the moment. I noticed that you had the heartfelt moment having getting rid of some Melbourne comedy memorabilia.
Oh yeah, that was there. So I had to get rid of all my flyers. Obviously, there's no use to them now. I think that was sort of like, on the whole, I've tried to be really, with all the Melbourne Comedy Festival shutting down, and Canberra Comedy in Sydney and all that sort of stuff. I've tried to just be really sort of stoic about the whole thing, just thinking, it could be worse, and I'm lucky, whereas I don't rely on comedy as my sole source of income. So, it's like, so. So I'm just trying to be really stoic and all that, and so I haven't really stressed about it. A lot of people have messaged me going like, "How do you feel?" and stuff, and I'm like, "Oh, it sucks, but it could be worse," kind of thing. And I just haven't really sort of connected with the sensation of loss. But yeah, when I had to throw those flyers out, it was like, oh, sad moment. Like that was sad face cry.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Dude, it's hit a lot of people with that. Like, I don't know. I seen the video, man, and I was just like, I can't watch it, man. I felt like Mo when Home was getting beaten up by Tatum.
Yeah.
Like, I was just like, I gotta get out of here. I couldn't watch the video. I'm just like, man, But like I said, man, it's like things like this, like podcasts and stuff, are starting to sort of get more content, which is good. Like, there is a silver lining to everything, and I think that
of course,
it's definitely made me up my game as far as like thinking of ideas to get content out, podcasts, videos, all that sort of stuff. So, as time goes on and things change, it's good to be able to like get stuff out of them, which is that. And I think also like when people are starved of something like comedy or entertainment in general, when they can finally get it again, they usually will like go in harder. So once all this craziness is over and everything is cruising along, it'll come back harder. I think people might appreciate it more.
You'll see an explosion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably the main thing. You'll see more of an appreciation. As you said, an appreciation, because people realise how long they've gone out without, or what they've actually been missing. They don't take it for granted quite as much. Yeah, you're taken away from you.
That's it. But yeah, dude, it's good to see that the communities, the comedian or the comedy community's been pretty supportive of each other and sort of getting content out and still chatting on social media and things like that. So it's kind of good that we got this platform, because you just imagine what it'd be like without the internet. Like, if this happened before the internet, how crazy it would be to try and sort of socialise.
Yeah, it'd be pretty nuts, hey? Well, I haven't really thought about that. Yeah.
It's just...
It'd be,
it'd be insane. Like,
there'd be a lot more children.
Thinking of... yeah, exactly. Oh, man. Yeah, we're thinking of, crazy alternatives to, like, different... what do you... When you think to yourself, oh, what could I do to get more content and all that sort of stuff? We did a podcast, you and I, previously at one of your first episodes, I think, for you up and coming podcast. And we did some questions on that one. It's inspired me to get a list of questions that we could run through.
Inspired you to steal my idea. Okay, that's cool. Nah.
It inspired me to also steal that idea that you stole.
Yeah, that's right. yeah, exactly.
I was like, well, that was a pretty good idea that guy stole. I should steal that too.
It's like what's that? They got that in Simpsons when Gabbo's doing the prank call to Krusty. He's like, if this is anyone but such and such, you're stealing my bit. Like,
oh man, I actually watched Simpsons. Like all this sort of hanging out at home. We've been watching a fair bit of Netflix, and Disney Plus has Simpsons at the moment as well.
Nice.
Yeah, so we've been plowing for a couple of old episodes. I think underrated character on The Simpsons. I don't even know his name, but there's an episode where he's just scattered throughout the series, and he's the one that I just watched. He's like he's like a cab driver or something. And
are you thinking of Hans Moleman?
No,
dude with glasses.
No. Once I impersonate his voice, you might get an idea. But basically, Grandpa gets in the back of the cab, and he's just like, "Where you off to?" And he's like, "Oh, just anywhere fun." He's just like, "Funsville, here we go." Like,
yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Where you heading to, Pally? That guy and Old Girl. Yeah. The just the two characters that are recognizable by their voices. Like, oh, come on, why can't you help Old Girl?
Yeah.
the wolf's at Gil's door.
Oh, you gotta feel sorry for Gil. Hey, come on, Gil, close that sale.
The best bit is that Canyonero episode where he's like trying to sell the car and another dude comes and steals the sale off him, so he instantly calls his wife like, I nearly had it.
Yeah, I was literally just thinking of that. I almost had it. You should have seen.
And she's banging someone else, and he's like, he's over, is he?
Oh,
Oh,
don't put
right,
him
I
on
don't
the
want to
phone."
talk to him. Hey, how you going?
Oh,
Dude, yeah, so they're my
Yeah,
underrated Simpsons characters. That and I always love Mo. Like, I feel like a perfect bartender is a cross between Mo and, have you ever seen Death Proof? Quentin Tarantino?
no, I haven't.
So he's in that movie as a bartender.
Yeah.
So Quentin Tarantino is actually in the film as a bartender, and he's just like the loose bartender that's like, he pours like a tray of shots and then brings it over the table and sits down and does it with them.
And just does shots. Yeah.
It's just like a sort of like small country town bar.
They do that a lot in America, though.
Yeah, well, a lot of the time we get, at the bar that I work at, we get touring bands from the States that will buy 2 shots and then be like, the second one's for you. And you'll be like, oh, no, that's not how it works here. Like, it's different. They're just really used to buying.
Yeah, no, when I was in New York, I had a couple of barmen do that, whereas they actually would buy me a shot on the house and they do a shot with me. But that's because obviously I was, buying drinks and tipping well and stuff.
Yeah.
And they'd just be like, pour around and be like, oh, here you go, and they'd do a shot with you.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, oh, no, this one's on the house. And you're like, oh, okay. But then, of course, they want you to, you keep tipping and keep buying, because I was just getting maggoted when I was over there, so...
Yeah, well, that's another thing too. Like, a lot of bartenders that I've heard that have worked overseas in America or wherever, that they sort of have different laws than us, will actually they'll buy their own bottle. That's, the bar didn't pay for it, sort of thing. Like, they'll buy it and keep it behind the bar just for people that tip, get a shot out of that bottle. Yeah. So it's kind of, they're not dipping into the stock that the bar paid for,
but they're still,
and they're encouraging more tips.
Well, maybe that's what they were doing, because I had it happen to me twice, or maybe 3 times. I don't know, I was pretty drunk.
After 2, you don't know how many times.
Oh, and their shots are 2. Their shots are 1.5 hours.
Yeah.
2. So you get an American shot, it's like 60 mils, whereas like ours are only 40. Or 30 or whatever. So their shots are big.
Just bigger, and they free pour their mixed drinks as well.
Yeah, and they pre-pour it. Mate, the drinks over there. It's actually like to go buy alcohol with the same like equivalent kind of price it is in Australia, but to go drink at a bar was way cheaper in America than it was in Australia, because like I said, they free pour and yada yada yada. So you get way more munted.
I heard a term that I haven't heard for a while. I was watching like some British show, and they were talking about getting really drunk, and she said that we got mortal. I'm like, mortal? Isn't that what you already were?
Yeah, we cut off our wings, man. We were angels. Now we're mortal.
Yeah, we were immortal, and then we decided just to go back for the peasant's life.
We were so drunk that we knew that we were probably going to die. Like
when they fell from heaven.
Hit me up with these stolen questions.
All right. Well, I didn't directly take them from your podcast, so that's a plus. I stole the idea.
No, it's good. It's probably you didn't take mine, because mine was shit. They really were.
No, dude, yours were good. Actually, speaking of which, I was thinking of using a sample from one of those at the end. You mind if I chuck in a sample from one of the questions at the end from our podcast?
Yeah, you just want to get that tap one on then, don't you?
I absolutely do, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yep, I'll chuck that in at the end. Yeah, man. There was a bunch of really good ones as well, but that one there's a good sample. So when that episode eventually comes out, people will have a taste already.
Yeah, I got to get back with this.
Yeah, man. Well, like I said, at the moment it's hard to try and put up content unless you've already created the content.
Yeah, exactly.
Because like I said, with this, I just happen to be able to chat to you on the phone, but you can't really have guests around to do podcasts and stuff.
No, you can't. Yeah.
Yeah, it's difficult. But
Weird.
all right, let's kick it off. We'll I got a bunch here, but I'll choose a couple that I think might be good for you. So, would you prefer to believe everything you hear, or you just can't lie?
Ooh, believe everything you hear, you just can't lie.
How about I'll sweeten it for you, because I thought about this a little bit more, and obviously believing everything you hear is like you're just going to have massive, like you're going to buy everything from every website. You're going to think that you're like the millionth person on every website, and you're just going to be constantly broke. So I'm gonna change it. So you I'm gonna put it on like a micro scale. So you know those people that are like selling stuff in Civic with the iPads and shit?
Yeah.
Would you prefer you have to stop at every one of them? Or you can never lie?
I'd go with never lie.
Never lie?
I know, because that way too, you can, because I mean, it's like a double-edged, it's like a double-edged, win though, because you can't lie, you can tell those people with the iPads to fuck off.
Yeah, dude, it's like a medical condition. You're like, oh man, look, I would love to stick around, but I can't lie, and I just can't be fucked.
I just can't be fucked. I just like, fuck off.
Yeah.
You know, actually, you say, actually, this is a really good one. Not that many people understand it. So what you say to those people is, oh, sorry, I can't stop, I've been drinking.
Yeah.
Because you are not allowed to sign a contract when you're under the influence of alcohol.
I get
So you
that.
say, nah, man, I've been drinking. Sorry, I can't sign that contract. I'm drunk.
So you just drive off. Just think that you're the most irresponsible fucking person ever.
Yeah, like you walk out like a childcare centre. Sorry, man, I've been drinking. And then you jump in your car.
Jump back in your garbo and keep dropping off bins.
Yeah, so no, I'd go with never been able to lie. I mean, you'd probably get yourself in so much trouble, but...
I feel like for anyone playing at home, I'd probably make it a little bit harder. I'd say you have to stop at all those people and like any other thing. Like if you're online and you get like a pop-up, you have to like go to it.
You have to click on the link.
Yeah, or you can just never lie. Now, some people probably just go, fuck it, I just won't walk through Civic and I won't go on the internet, but... not being able to lie, that's like kind of, I'd take that. Because I feel like your life would just be more honest. Like you just, everything you would just say, dude, I can't, like, you just have to tell everyone straight up, like.
Yeah, I mean, you'd get beaten up a lot more.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe.
What are you looking at? Your head.
It depends on what sort of person you are as well. Like if you're an actual asshole, then like it would be you're basically like, oh, but this is the thing, dude. Like I've only asked this to you, but like if I have a female guest, does that mean she can't wear makeup or?
No,
like,
I don't think makeup's a
that,
lie. I don't think makeup's a lie.
Like, if I wear a hoodie to show that I don't have a belly, is that lying? I just have to walk around naked all the time. Sorry, man, I can't lie. I've just got to fucking be naked. I don't want to hide any secrets.
Yeah, and I got a little dick. There it is.
There's, well, you know, not all those are true. Oh man!
Yeah, you're not fast. Yeah.
Oh man! No, I'm just saying that the hoodie wouldn't cover the.
Oh yeah, the hoodie wouldn't cover.
Yeah. Like they're actually my hoodies. I didn't steal them from like a bigger person. Oh man. All right. So we got another one here. Would you prefer to be the only human in the world that's able to run 100 k's an hour, or be the only human in the world that's able to fly at 10 kilometers an hour?
I go 100 k's.
Yeah,
run 100 k's because you could run across water at 100 k's an hour.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is, Yeah. Well, no one ever said how fast Jesus was going.
He's probably running from all the barmen. He'd been ripping off. He's ordering a wine trip.
You could just
legging it.
Yeah, exactly. All the wineries that he just turned all their shit back to water. Yeah, it turns out when you've got like 100 dudes with pitchforks that used to just pick grapes for a living, taking out all their frustration on you, you can hit 100 Ks.
Yeah, you can run really.
Or it was like one of those like Guinness record breaking things, like where everyone's standing and watching him, and he's like, back up, like make a line.
Yeah.
I've got to get a run up, and some smart ass would stick his foot out and trip him the first 3 times. Yeah, dude. Well, okay, 100 Ks, that's good.
Okay.
I'd probably go the same, man, because the point of that being you're the only one in the world that can do it. So you're basically going to be an Olympian, like, either way.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
there's, like, mad money to make off that. The freedom of being able to fly would be pretty cool, but I think the reason I brought it down to 10 Ks is because it's a hard sell, because you basically only can fly, fairly slow.
Well, you imagine robbing a bank, and then you're like robbing a bank, and then you try and fly like 10 Ks an hour, and the cops are like just chasing you in like a balloon.
Or that's the first thing you do with your power, and someone thinks that they can see ghosts, and you died, and that's your spirit floating away.
Yeah, just floating away. Yeah, no, it wouldn't allow you to sort of go anywhere. Like 10 Ks an hour, the average person can. Yeah.
Although helicopter time, like maybe just like instead of walking around a building, just being able to go over it, like it'd be handy, but it wouldn't be like, like just being like, all right, roads are clear. I'm just gonna run to Melbourne. I'll be there. Like it'll take me a long time. Let's still be like 7 hours or whatever, but I'll get there.
Yeah. Well, it'd still be quicker than Tiger Air, wouldn't it?
Well, I mean, you will get there.
Yeah.
Oh man! All right, well, let's kick off the last one. Now, this one's completely different from the other two. It's put you into like you can kind of feel this question as I ask it.
Yeah.
Would you prefer to pry off your thumbnail with a fork, or put a toothpick under your toenail and kick a wall?
Oh, dude, what the fuck's wrong with you? Jesus.
Just a simple one or two, Kai.
That hurts. I'm gonna have to go to number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because it'd be like, oh God, that hurt. How we're talking about how like your dick's connected to your feet. Well,
Yeah.
Now my dick's hurting because of the pain that I'm.
Yeah,
Just
you're
trying
right,
to
dude.
think
Maybe
about
it
that.
won't be so bad if it's like red hot. You could just like quickly rub some deep heat on your knob and quickly kick the wall.
I'd have to go kick in the wall.
Yeah.
With it. Yeah,
Fast, get it over and done with.
Get over and done with. Oh man.
Yeah, it's a gnarly question, dude.
It is a gnarly question. That hurts.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's trying to keep their on the road while they're like squinting, just listening to that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask Jen. Hold on. No, hey Jen, what would you rather? To pry your own thumbnail off with a fork, or put a sharpened toothpick under your big toenail and kick a wall? Like she's just like steely. Like she hasn't even. Now you going on the wall? Kick the wall. Yeah, but she didn't even flinch, man. She's badass.
Yeah, dude.
I'll kick
She's
the
a
wall.
fucking badass, dude. It's that analytical mind. It's just like, all right, this is just a hypothetical situation. Let's just fucking go for the best option, the least amount of damage that allows me to keep working. Like all this shit. Just so many equations went into that, dude. And you didn't even know.
Just walk it off.
Yeah.
She's just do it and go, I'm going back to work now.
All right, lunch break is over. Oh man, what a good sport, man. That's good shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll probably have to go toothpick as well. Although, the reason I choose it is just faster. Like, I feel like if I started doing it on the thumb, I'd just be like, fuck this. And yeah. I always choose the alternate, like, ending. Like, I'll just be like, I don't know, I'll just fucking beat up the dude that asked me and get out of the room. Like, I'll take that option.
Well, you can run 100 k's an hour, so, you know, you beat him up and you get the fuck out of it.
Oh, man, who knows? Maybe that's why they asked Jesus what he wanted to do, and that's how he was going so fast. Man.
Well, eventually they caught him and gave him the nail in the foot, didn't they?
That's right. Yeah, it's just yeah, they weren't going to pin him to the cross with toothpicks. Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. Yeah, man. Well, that wraps up the questions, man, and that gets us through to our half an hour mark anyway. So
yeah, man. Yeah, it does too. Oh, awesome. Oh man. Yeah, I'll probably go to bail then.
Yep. Well, thanks for being on the podcast. The quarantine edition.
The quarantine edition.
The isolated edition. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, the isolated edition of the podcast, and giving some content, getting through some cool questions and stuff. Neither of us have any dates to hype, so.
No, I just like to hype sitting on the couch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to do that a bit later. Tomorrow, I'm back at work tomorrow and stuff. But that's how are you getting through it? What are you doing at home?
Just watching all the backlog of stuff I haven't.
Yeah, you're saying, yeah.
And I'm spending a bit of time just getting some of the stuff in the back end ready for the for comedy and stuff. Just organising all my notes, writing stuff. Also, mentioning this on the podcast. This is the first episode with the new logo, so that's been something that I got done in this time.
Nice.
Graphic designers just work from email, so you're sweet. You can still get some of like that kind of artwork done and stuff, which is cool.
Yeah.
So I got that done, which is anyone listening to this will see the new logo. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, awesome, man! Awesome. Yeah, I just bought myself a PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
That was my.
I got a PlayStation 4, but I use it for Netflix more than actually playing games.
There you go.
Yeah. So
I'm digging Spider-Man at the moment.
Spider-Man?
Yeah, big Spidey fan.
Yeah. And, so that's your game recommendation?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the only game I played.
It's like when I had a buddy with an N64 when I was younger, and like everyone would just go, like, if you weren't the cool kid, you just got the newest game and the newest console, and like you had friends all of a sudden.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But now it's just all online, so it's like unless you have the game, no one can play with you anyway. So
yeah,
man.
But, Spider-Man's it's been pretty good.
Dude,
really
underrated TV series. Did you watch Breaking Bad?
No, I didn't actually.
Okay, so there was a series that was linked to that called Better Call Saul, and it was like a side story from the lawyer in that. It's like the events leading up to Breaking Bad, basically.
Yeah.
And dude, underrated. Like that series is good. It's got a couple of like kind of sticky. It's pretty much similar to Breaking Bad. Like it's got really intense parts where you're like, oh, how's he going to get out of this, or how's this going to go, or just sort of like, or it'll do like a flashback and then it'll link back to it later on. So that's my shout out. I've been watching a lot of that lately. Better Call Saul. It's like anyone that's seen Breaking Bad, I reckon should watch that.
You get into that. My movie recommendation, actually, I watched the other night was Six Underground.
Yeah.
It's on Netflix.
Okay.
Ryan Reynolds and a bunch of other badass dudes doing some badass stuff, trying to overthrow governments. It was really good sort of fun movie, and lots of explosions. So,
yeah, Brad, I'll have to chuck that on the list. I'll get to it after all the others. During all the others. I watched a ZZ Top documentary the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah, the evolution of ZZ
Were
Top.
you
I don't know
looking, were
what
you
it's
looking
called.
for tips on beard maintenance? Or?
Dude, I have not wanted to watch ZZ Top so bad until I watched that documentary because I've always digged that like bluesy rock.
Yeah.
As well as I'm a metalhead, but I always like that sort of stuff because a lot of metal came from that era. And yeah, dude, I like they still play gigs and stuff. Actually, there was a beard competition a few years ago in the States where Billy Gibbons, the singer of ZZ Top, was singer-guitarist, and he was one of the judges. So I'm like, man, I would enter a comp just to be in the same room as that dude.
That's that beard, man. Forget the man, just the beard.
Yeah, that's it.
The legendary beard.
You become your beard. Yeah, that's your identity. Yeah. Anyway, man.
I'll let you go.
Yeah, cheers for being on the show, man. And everyone give Kai a follow on Facebook, and you're on Instagram as well.
I am Fahey Comedy. CYFAHEY Comedy.
Yep.
Check me out.
And thanks everyone for listening, and cheers to Kai for being on the show.
Mate. Yeah, thank you.
All right, catch you.
Would you like to ask me a question? Because, it's my podcast and all that. No, like I said, ask me a question.
Yeah. What's your favourite tattoo, and why is it your tramp stamp?
Because it looks so pretty.
Yeah, buy me a drink. Just name names. Yeah, right.
Big Tony. Look at fucking throwing out a strip club with your floppy disk.
Man, you got a big beard, dude.
Shame for shit all day.
Me and my best friend, Marky Worthington.
Keep it simple. Count your money.
That they're not proud of.
Just give me $10.
Hey, right?
Click.
Did you hang up?
No, I just said click.